Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and yes, the VIX has gapped up today. We closed at around 1949 area, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday's high was around this area here. The issue with the VIX that I have now is because we're having trouble here at this 2064, 2066 area. This is a high. Are we going to continue to make new highs? There is a gap that will need to be filled to the downside, right? So I always say, where are my trouble places? We can continue going higher. We are above the 5 EMA. This is our gathering spot as of right now. Pre-market support is here at 2030, resistance at 2066. Again, we are having trouble in this area, but we can break this and continue higher. So looking at the VIX, just know above 2066 we can continue climbing. If we break under this 5 EMA, under the 2047, we can come back to the 2030, or the 5 EMA was at 2046. Just know if we come under the 2046 is where the 5 EMA is, that the 2030 is another level of support. Under the 2030 we can come back to the 2008. Under the 2008 it brings us back to an area that will need to be filled as a gap fill, the 2001. So the gap is from 2001 down to 1949 area, or 1940, let's see, 1949, yes. So 2001 to 1949, or 1949 to 2001 is the gap that will need to be filled for the VIX. And as of right now, we're having trouble in this 2066 area. So we could very well lose our support in this area and come back down to the downside. Now, if we break this 1949, just know it's right at the 20 EMA that we've broken through a level of support for the VIX, and we can come all the way back down to 1907, which is a previous support area and an ATR trailing stop area, or previous resistance area, now support, and the ATR trailing stop. So those are places for the VIX that I would definitely keep an eye on if I traded the SPY, because it kind of gives us an overall idea of what's going on with the SPY. And again, 2066 is the area that we were having trouble at. So if we break this area, we could very well continue climbing. Let's go look at the SPY just to see where we are. So the SPY closed at 543.01. We have a pre-market low of 536.29. It didn't surprise me to see us break through this 538.88 area. I had that marked as a key level of support for the SPY. We broke that level, came down to 536.29 only to find support. But if you see here, we're trading in a zone. As of now, our pre-market support is at 537.06. Resistance is right here at 537.72. So SPY is trading in this gathering spot. Price is just gathered in this area. Now, if we break above the 537.73 area, 72 area, just know that we can come back to this area where the 20 EMA around the 538.40 or 538.29 area. That's an area of resistance for the SPY as of right now. And again, if we break the 538.29 area, just know that the 588.88 is still going to be now a resistance level for the SPY. So I would say if I trade the SPY today, to definitely be careful. Now, we do have, today is Friday, we do have some economic data coming out today. So we have the U.S. employment report, the employment rate, the U.S. hourly wages, and the hourly wages year over year. So those all come out at 8:30 this morning. So the market could move in either direction, right? Let's say that in either direction. And at 10 o'clock, we have the factory orders. So those are things to keep in mind that could very well move the market up or move the market down. Just know that SPY will have a gap to the upside that needs to be filled, and the VIX will have a gap to the downside that will need to be filled. That's something to be mindful of. So where are our trouble places for the SPY, right? So if we get above the 538.88 area, just know that we can come back and have trouble here at 539.51. Above 539.51, 540.08. above 540.08, 540.58, and above the 540.58, just know we can come back and retest the 541.30, 541.49, which is the ATR trailing stop, very much close to the 50 EMA at 541.27. So those are areas. In this area, I would say that's a key area of resistance, or strong area of resistance, the 50 EMA and the ATR trailing stop above the 541.49. We can come back and get stopped out at 541.85. So those are trouble places to the upside for the SPY. Now let's look to the downside. If by chance we break under this 536.29 area, just know that we could have trouble here at 534.87, under 534.87, 534.53, under 534.53, 534.03, and under 534.03 we can come back to 533.69 or 533.69. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for the SPY. Now, if you trade the SPY, I always say trade carefully. Anything in the market is possible. Anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed. Let me fix that. So let's go to Tesla and see where we are today with Tesla. Tesla closed at 216.86. We've made a pre-market low of about 213.47, which is not far from this 213.25 area that we had previously marked for support for Tesla. And as of now, let's see, I would watch this area of 214.84, this around this zone here for Tesla, and resistance, I will watch the area of 217.30. Because as you can see, price is has been trading in this zone here. Yes, we did move up, got rejected here at this 222, only to come back down, and price came back to the gathering spot, this area here. So this is why I call the the gathering spot, or the no trading zone, until it gives me a signal to make sure that we're going in either direction. So again, pre-market support for Tesla is around 214.84. Resistance I have around the 217.30. So that's a range that Tesla can trade in. So where are our trouble places for Tesla today? If it breaks above the 217.30, just know we can have trouble at 217.70. Above the 217.70 area, know that we can have trouble here at, let's see, 217.70, 218.41. Above the 214.81, just know that we could have trouble back at 220.23. Above the 220.23, we can have trouble around the 221.41, which is not far from the a 222 area where it kind of got stuck here or rejected here. So those are trouble places to the upside. Now, if we break above the 222 area, just know that Tesla can come all the way back to the ATR trailing stop, which is around the 223.67 area, and get stopped out or get rejected there. So I would say watch Tesla in those areas. Now, to the downside, can we continue down? We very well can. So if we break under this 214.84 area, we can come back to 214.31. Under 214.31, we can come back to this 213.47. Under 214.37, 213.25 was an area of support, and 211.55. So those are areas to the upside and downside that I will watch for Tesla. Now, let's see, if we break under that 211.55, we can come back to 209.94, and under 209.94, 209.09. So those are places to the upside and to the downside that I would watch Tesla. Now, if by chance we break under this 209.09 area, we can come back to this 207.68, and Tesla can move in either direction. Let's see, looking at it on the daily chart, I look at the ATR, and it is $13.89. So it can move $13.89 in either direction, up or down. So I would say if I trade Tesla today, trade carefully. Anything is possible, right? So let's look at AMD. AMD was a really good trade on yesterday. We had a high of 147.29 and a low of around 130 area. Let's see, 130.39. So it closed at 132.54. We made a pre-market low of 129.65. So at the 129.65 area, we bounced from there to create a gathering spot. I would say pre-market support as of right now is around the 132.60 area. Resistance is right here around the 134.15. So we've been trading in this zone here, and it looks like it's trying to break out of this area. Just know that we will have trouble around the 135.54 area, which is really close to the ATR trailing stop at 135.73. Above 175.33, it brings us to the 50 EMA, which is really close to a previous support or resistance area around the 136.60 area. So if we break above the 136.60, just know that we could have trouble here at 137.51. Above 137.51, we can have trouble around 138.94. If we break above the 138.94, just know that we could possibly have trouble here at the 139.97. So those are trouble places to the upside for AMD. Now, we could very well continue declining under if we come back under 132.53. Just know again, we could have trouble here at the 132.05. Under 132.05, we can come back to the 131.09. Under the 131.09, we can come back and retest the 130.35 area, and under the 135, we can come back to the 129.65. So those are areas to the upside and to the downside that I would look for AMD. And let's see how much AMD is normally moving, about $8.60 on average per day. So I would say trade carefully if I traded AMD to the upside or to the downside. Anything is possible, right? So let's see where NVDA is today. NVDA, looking at it, normally I go to the 30-minute chart. So our pre-market support would have been here at the 105.08. Well, we just broke through that to create another gathering spot here at 103.79 area. It looks like we're declining from that area. So I would watch these areas of gathering spots for NVIDIA. As of right now, that 103.86, 103.75 area, that's an area, well, market it's still declining. So I would definitely watch this area. We're breaking out of that now. So resistance would have been right here at 105.08. And above the 105.08, it was 106.24. So those are trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now, because it created a gathering spot here at our 4 o'clock area, only to come down and create another gathering spot, which it seems like we're breaking out of that now. So back to the upside, if it get above the 106.24, just know that we could have trouble here at 106.96. Above the 106.96, 108.52. Above the 108.52, we can have trouble around this area of 109.87. Above 109.87 brings us to the ATR trailing stop in the 50 EMA, which is around the 110.02 or 109.79. So those areas I would definitely watch NVIDIA to the upside, because those could very well be trouble places for us. And to the downside, it looks as if we're declining now. So I would definitely say that's why it's important to, wait on the candle to close. So our trouble places, we can very well continue just declining. Let's go see how much it normally moves. On average, $7.40 per day. Again, that could be in either direction. So if you trade NVIDIA today, just know that it is declining. Pre-market, it did stop here at 102.42, and it seems like it's forming a little wick in this area. Yes, 102.42, something stopped it in this area from declining. So I would say trade carefully today. As of now, 102.42, and we just made a new low, 102.32. So I would say trade carefully today. It seems like some economic data has come out, and we are declining with NVIDIA. So just know, again, it can move in either direction. Just wait on confirmation and make sure you have a reason as to why you're entering your trades, and when it goes against your why, please get out. I always say live to trade another day. We do have an inside day candle, which is international paper, and we've already broken through that downside trigger and broke through and beyond the downside target. So the downside target was 45.75. We've made a low of 45.34. Now, can we bounce back? We very well can go back to the upside. Now, if it by chance breaks above 46.66, just know 46.75 is the target. But as of right now, it looks like it has already filled the it has already reached the target to the downside. Let's say that, right? So LABU is also an inside day candle. It too has already reached its downside target. 131.93. If we broke past that, we would have a target of 131.55. Well, we're down at the 127 area, and we could very well continue down. So let's see that. How much does LABU normally move on average on a daily basis? $9.87, again, in either direction. So it seems as if our inside day candles have already reached the target to the downside. So today should be an interesting day. Let's go look at the SPY just to see where we are. And look, the SPY has broke through our gathering spot today. You know, here I had the 536.29 as support area that we could have come back to. We've already broken through that area. SPY came down to made a low of 533.49, which is not far from this area that I had marked at 533.69. So I would definitely watch the SPY in this area. Now, can we continue declining? We very well can. So again, I would watch SPY in the area of, let's see, 533.57, under the 533.57, 533.10, under the 533.10. Just know 532.23 is going to be a trouble place for the SPY. 533.22, and I'm going to see 533.22. 532.20, under 532.20, 530.81, under 530.81, 530.35, under 530.35, 530.02, and again at 529.35, under 529.35, 529.12. Those are places that SPY can definitely find support and bounce back to the upside, or it could very well continue declining. Again, y'all, I always say in the market, anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed. So don't get caught in your trades thinking that just because it's been declining that it can't find support and bounce back to the upside. That's why it's important to learn your charts and follow the direction of your charts. And when it goes against your why, get out. I can't say that enough. So y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day. If you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of that. You know, we learn and we grow together, y'all. So I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.